Nation's top intelligence and law enforcement officials are testifying before the Senate Intelligence Committee today. This is part of what's described as the annual Worldwide Threats Assessment hearing.
Experts will deliver a status check on the threat risk facing the United States as concerns grow over recent actions by China, by Russia, by Iran, and others as well.
CBS News intelligence and national security reporter Olivia Gazis joins us from our Washington bureau with what we can expect. Olivia, it's significant as we're hearing from the heads of the CIA, the FBI, and others. What do you expect them to say is the biggest threat facing the U.S. right now?
Sure. Well, if you single out the FBI and CIA, we've heard from both of those leaders warning publicly and consistently that over the long term, it's the Chinese government that poses the largest and most complex strategic challenge to the United States. And that's not only because of China's growing ability and apparent desire to project military power in the world and over the Taiwan Strait, but because of this massive intellectual property theft that the PRC has engaged in here, either by pretty effectively recruiting American spies, we keep seeing those cases about handing over information, or through their own cyber operations, which has made for one of the largest wealth transfers in history in the billions and billions of dollars. But there's 6 of them testifying today, right? I think you'll hear an array of testimony from all 6 of these leaders about other potentially smaller but more immediate challenges, from the potential nuclear threat posed by Vladimir Putin's Russia to election security threats posed by rapidly accelerating technologies like AI. It can really run the gamut in this hearing.
You know, Olivia, since you mentioned China as the most significant medium-term threat, its growth, I think we should jump right to this TikTok bill that has bipartisan support in Congress. And apparently the White House supports it as well. It would force a sale or a ban of TikTok, which, of course, is Chinese-owned. What do you know about that, and how's that playing, if at all, into today's hearing?
Sure. Well, you're right that apart from the big picture items, land wars in Ukraine and Gaza, lawmakers do tend to ask questions along their own lines of legislative interest and things that affect the American people. So there's going to be plenty of questions about the extent of the Chinese government's control over TikTok and what this controversy over pending legislation illustrates just about how the company is run. How has that direct messaging campaign that TikTok unspooled to American users in the immediate aftermath of this bill coming up send warning flares about the information control that parent company ByteDance has over the more than 150 million Americans that use it every day. That's actually been a long concern for the leaders of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Marco Rubio and Mark Warner. They've been warning for years of the national security risks posed by TikTok as long as the Chinese government has a handle on its data and on how its algorithms work.
And right now, Olivia, so much of Congress's spending budgets and bills have been held up over foreign aid so the U.S. can help not just the war in Ukraine, but aid to Israel, aid to Palestinians. Do we expect them to emphasize how crucial that aid is as far as U.S. safety?
Absolutely. I think there's going to be a lot of interest in the trajectories of these 2 land wars, both in Ukraine and in Gaza, including what their likely outcomes can be. I mean, in Ukraine, the main question is how long can Kyiv hold on and hold out without U.S. financial and military backing? Is Vladimir Putin now showing that he's emboldened? And what might he do beyond Ukraine if he thinks that Western support is now on a permanent decline if the U.S. is pulling out? On Gaza, I mean, the CIA director will have just returned from the Middle East. So absent a hostage deal and a ceasefire, how combustible is this situation, and what other options are there to forestall a broader conflict and ease the horrible humanitarian crisis that persists there?
All right, we'll watch that hearing closely, as I know you will as well. Olivia Gazis, thank you very much.
Thank you.